Boo! What is up, everybody? I was gonna say my name Ghostian here again, but I don't know. That's kind of sounds weird to say after I've kind of never introduced myself as that on any of my videos. I don't think I've ever said my name, my user on here ever, which is kind of odd. If you guys want me to start doing that, I'll do it, you know. Anyway, we are back here with some more Danganronpa. Let's not even waste any more time, let's get right into it. Yeah, it's so nice to be back on this game again. Like, just the music and everything, the visuals, the characters. R.I.P. Big C Celeste, you will be missed. You too, Sakura. Let's get to see this. Yeah. You see, they had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything? Yeah. My thing was, she seems to have forgotten a lot more than the other characters. So I am curious as to why. And she probably is right. She said, what I've gathered is that she's some type of junior detective, or even probably more than a junior detective.
So
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. And what is it? You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. I knew it! Oh my god, I knew it! Oh my god, I knew it! I freaking knew it. I've been saying she was a detective from the start, bro. The way she talks, the way she dresses, it was so obvious. The ultimate detective.
correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. I'm guessing the ultimate despair? You had to find someone. Who?
So
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought I knew everything. The headmaster? Why do you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. Yeah, please do go silent there, because I needed a moment to pause. What? Oh my lord. The headmaster's your father. So you're a Nepo baby.
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became Sorry. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster. That's crazy. So she was abandoned as a child then? Her father abandoned her? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
no matter what.
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on?
I
My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now. Of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say to protect him. But I didn't say that to protect him. So, does she think the headmaster is also in on this whole thing? I only said what I felt based on what I seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there?
so
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map. It's a
Indeed.
blueprint. It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile in that key. The map showed the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
Ooh, sorry, I'm up to dry. And that's when I finally remembered. I remember that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So I went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there. Well, I'm pretty sure I know what their key is for. When we were in the surveillance room, there was a Monokuma door. Like, it was like his face. The bear's face. And I'm pretty sure we need to use the key on that.
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like, that part of the school, I mean? It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. Ooh, excuse me. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Like, right now soon, or next video soon? It sounds like it must be important and really ominous. Ominous. I'll just keep talking.
However,
which is why I had to, which is why I had no idea what was going on. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. Oh, 100%, because if neither me or Kyoko, I keep saying me like I'm Makoto. If neither Makoto or Kyoko killed her, Mukuro, if that was even a real body by chance, if that was even a real body, it had to have been set up because Monokuma always tells us the truth of who was killed and who isn't the killer, yada yada yada. So, and he said that Makoto really did kill Mukuro, but we know that isn't true. So it's a big whoop-de-doo. So definitely a setup for sure by Monokuma. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed.
indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared. In retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me. That does make sense.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There's a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. Me? How? Explain, please. I could have become the victim?
indeed.
Wait, I already was the victim. I was almost killed. Are we forgetting that Makoto was literally almost squished by, like, what are they called? The press machines, the hydraulic press. I was almost squished by a hydraulic press. I was a victim. Do you mean? Oh yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about that, bro. It's been so long. I totally forgot about this during the night.
I
can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. Which one? Anubis? Thanatos? No, Thanatos is the god of sleep, right? I don't know. It's either Thanatos is either the god of death or the god of sleep. I don't know. There was a manhwa I read where it was like the VR. It was like one of those VR MMO manhwas, and the main character, His class was related to Thanatos, and it said it was the god of sleep. And one time I looked up Thanatos, and it said he was a god of death, and that the god of sleep was like Thanatos' brother or something. I don't know. Okay, I'm rambling on about nothing. I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away as I followed it. I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have a conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. And we know the only person who had a key to Kyoko's room is Byakuya. Are we finally gonna see that little prick die? That's really bad if it's true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but does that create another? But doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction, and it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other
It
words,
means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. Oh my gosh. Y'all are doing too much. The other ultimate despair? I thought the whole meaning of an ultimate is that there's a singular one, not multiple ones. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not.
Indeed.
Think about it. Ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. My problem also with Mukuro's death is they say she was a child soldier. She served in a mercenary corps. For her to be killed is literally dumb. How would they have killed Mukuro if she's a trained killer? She's a trained killer. That is the information they've given us. You're talking about
That's
what
right.
happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. This again, and yet again, I could list multiple other, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Like, there's multiple of these. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair.
It would seem.
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. Who? That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Who? A company? A corporation? What? The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused a tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. So it's a group? Oh my gosh, our enemy has finally been revealed. Well, no they haven't. We don't know who they are. We don't know what they look like. We don't know their names. We don't know their genders. We don't know their ages. We just know that it's somehow a group because Kyoko says so. But whatever. She's the ultimate detective that has no memory, but I'll believe her for now. But right now
Anyway,
I have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. How though? Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the Headmaster's room?
indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
And we should be able to use it to open that door, right? Hey Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's
Let's
true.
find out. So I took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then... yes, it opened. Good. Let's get out of this dump.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. About dang time. Jeez. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even any time to take a breath of relief because the real fight had just begun. Let's get dirty. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. That's a lot of ultimate. That's an ultimate mouthful. No? Okay. I'll keep it to myself next time. You bunch of whatever. After leaving the garbage, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Oh, sorry. Dang, I would have fell, bro. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. Yo, this would make you so sore. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down. How did we survive this fall?
Hey,
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? She doesn't remember. How long?
so
Ever since I can remember, I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then is your family famous? Quite the
Wrong.
opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family's tradition, right? So,
right.
because we take pride in it. Pride. A detective is
Indeed.
neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we have made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. So do y'all not work with the police? Do you have a private detective agency? Like are you guys PIs? I'm confused. A conscious effort.
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Does it at least put food on the table? I don't know. Like I'm just curious about it all. Before I came here, before I came here. When was looking up info? Okay, so I'm not dumb. Or am I? Before I came here, Wen was looking up info about the school online. Am I reading that right, or is that a typo? I never saw anything about her because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However,
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to
I-
enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I didn't know that it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, is because how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that. Reconnect?
What?
I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reunited after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about. Makoto, what is there to talk about with the man who abandoned you when you were a child? Nothing, Makoto, nothing. There's
Wrong.
nothing I want to talk to my father about. There's something I
however,
want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it
I-
takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
so
I want to sever all ties with him. Is he still a part of your life in a way that I don't know about? Because from what I know, he abandoned you. And I would assume that in itself severs all ties. Does it not? Sever. The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he had a promising future, but he had
However-
no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Okay, so what do you have left to sever then? Not long after that, my mother died and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. Oh my god. Makoto, you really suck at consoling people. I'm sure Dad wanted to take you with him. If
Right.
that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. But you probably would have had the chance to make up your own choice. I mean, I'm not gonna butt into like family stuff or whatever, right? I honestly like I have both my parents, so like I honestly wouldn't understand. But like like Kyoko was technically groomed into being a detective. Like she comes from a long line of detectives, so it kind of is not like she necessarily had a choice. She was just kind of dragged into it, you know? But whatever. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, excuse me, she was more talkative, more emotional.
I
don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true. But there's
however,
one thing that I can never forgive. Really? The way
So-
everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing. But when the rest of my family
However-
looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me, even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow. That's why I
Correct.
have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. What? Okay, maybe to me, maybe I just don't get it. But y'all stopped being family the moment he left you. Your father stopped being your family the moment he abandoned you. I'm confused. I don't think you need to say that to him. I think he already knows. I think you know. In order to settle the past, in order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that. Our only
Wrong.
connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No. Is blood really
Hey.
enough to call someone family? I don't know. No? I mean, people literally make families of people they're not related to all the time. You know, it's called marriage and, you know, whatever. We are gonna end it right there. I don't know why they have us on that gosh darn ladder for that long, but holy. Anyway, listen, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope I was able to make you laugh and hope I made your day a little bit better. I will catch you guys and gals. I don't know what the majority of y'all are. I will catch y'all in the next one. Goodbye.